I have to mark the Cubs World Series victory once again because, first of all, yes, it happens after 108 years of growing, constant suffering and longing, not just among Cubs fans, but of people who are fans of the underdog. When it finally came, and I watched it at the World Exchange and made new friends in the process, we all observed and shared one observation. Time stood still. It didn't seem to stand still, it really did. And we were all talking about this amazing phenomenon of how it seemed this game would drag on. That it was some type of battle, not just between the Cubs and the Indians, but of forces such that, for example, a ball would hit Dave Ross in the face and then bounce away and become a wild pitch. You don't see that every single game or year the way that happened at the time that it happened. Or the rain delay. Or the incredible feeling that the Cubs were just about to wrap it up only to watch the Indians come back and tie it or threat yet again. How many times did that happen? How many times did that happen? Or the fact that the Cubs came from being down 3-1. Think about it. Think about it. The Cubs were on the brink of elimination this weekend and came back to win. And then got this game 7 that was this epic battle of wills as much as it was teams and spirits as well. I have never experienced anything like that in my entire life. I can't say I don't know if I ever will again because I didn't think the Cubs were going to win the World Series. But they did. The Cubs, for me, for those of you who don't know, are very special because I've said this in other vlogs for those who've seen them, that I grew up with the Chicago Cubs when Jack Brickhouse was the announcer and I would listen on WGN radio. And I didn't get that memo that because I grew up on the south side of Chicago, I was supposed to hate the Cubs. I'm one of the few fans that likes both. You think that's weird? That's your problem. It's not mine. It's the way I grew up. It's the way I grew up. A number of events in my life are tied in with what the Cubs did. Most notably, the Steve Bartman almost catch and interference was within the 2003 NLCS that caused my father and I to rekindle our relationship. He died 2 years later. The Cubs almost won the World Series the year before, in which they perfectly would have matched the prediction that was released in Back to the Future 3. Remember that? Now, I say that because for me, as I told you, the Cubs have marked special events in my life. Not all the time, but something that happened with the Cubs have marked a special event in my life, in this case with my father. But also, the Cubs losing and not even being close to a World Series champion was something that was indelibly marked in American culture. So much so that it was presented in Back to the Future as one example among many. Among many. I want everybody to not forget this moment. And I say it because in this hypermedia environment where the media cycle is 24 hours, that means something new is happening every single day. But it also means that we're compelled to forget something that happened the day before that. That's bad. There are some things we must be compelled to remember forever. This, the Cubs winning the 2016 World Series, is one of them.